This is the morning show on News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM KFYO. We got Dave King, and I'm Matt Martin, and we also have Gary Adrian on the line. If you have a question for him, make sure you text it in. We've already, as we've said, we've already had a couple questions. I kind of gave him a update over the phone, and it didn't sound too good for our listeners. But Gary, how are things going your direction?
Our texts are coming in, the phone's ringing. We sound like a Vegas casino. And it's absolutely crazy. We get so many referrals. I mean, Lauren was telling me the other day how many times that she hears people tell her that they heard about us on y'all's radio. It's just absolutely amazing. I never dreamed that talk radio in Lubbock would have as many listeners as it does. But you guys are rock stars, man. You got it going on. And,
we thank you for that. We'll let you advertise for proof. You'll keep saying
No,
that.
no, we won't. Dave, don't say that. We'll
Hey,
get in
Gary,
a lot of
Dave,
trouble for that one.
I kind of want to get my little plug out of the way. Dave, yesterday or day before, I heard you say something about Food Bank. I decided we generally make a donation to Food Bank every year around Christmas time, and I kind of thought about it a little bit, and I thought they really need it now at least as much as they will at Christmas, so we went ahead and did that. One other thing I'm challenging folks to do as well, this is Girl Scout cookie time, and they can't sell their cookies, so they're going to have a boatload of excess cookies. Found out that you can go on their website and donate cookies to first responders and folks on the front line, which I thought was a real appropriate way to tell those folks thanks. So, yeah, I don't know who came up with it at the Girl Scouts, but I thought it was a really, really good idea. So that's what I'm challenging folks to do, kind of express your appreciation to these folks. I'd like to get the grocery store folks out there, too, because, I mean, they're right there. All the retail folks that have to deal with us all the time, they're right there like anybody else. They get exposed to more people than any of the rest of us do. So big shout-out to them. Thanks for being there and doing what you do. These are trying times for all of us. And
yes, it is. Hey, Gary?
I'm glad to do that. Yes, sir.
I want to tell you, just as an example, I had one of my neighbor ladies call me. She's a widow, and she called me yesterday, and she was just railing about the fact that her property taxes are higher this year, and she didn't know what she was going to do about it, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I've got an answer for you. And I gave her your phone number. And I hope she said she was going to call. And I said, tell Carrie that and that's what we're here to talk about this morning is Ace of Texas. And you help people with their property taxes. And I have said before, this is one of those deals it's heads I win, tails I win. If you can't help it, it costs you nothing.
That's really the way we look at it. One of the big secrets, I guess, that we've got is we use a lot of artificial intelligence and technology anytime we can. Try to glean as much as we can from records from the appraisal district, from MLS, so that we don't have to sit there and look at every single thing every single time, just go in and harvest what we need. It really speeds us up and allows us to work on a whole lot more properties. But no, I was telling Matt, jumped in the truck this morning and turned it on, and the very first thing that comes up, radio is on, and I hear my name. I didn't hear anything they said after that because, I mean, it's kind of a little bit scary and
run.
But, yeah, what have I done now? So I just cut it off and run back in the house. But, no, you guys have had some calls, and one of them had to do with can we delay payment of property tax?
Yeah, push it back, or even if you're having a hardship, don't have a business open right now, then you don't have the money necessarily to pay those property taxes, and you're not even making money off of your business.
Well, it's kind of a double whammy, and the government, legislators and the governor are going to have pressure on them from both sides. Taxpayers, property owners, business owners, et cetera, are hurting. I mean, a lot of folks are really going to be hurt. A lot of folks laid off. Saw that nationwide, it's 1 in 6 has been laid off. That is absolutely incredible. But I mean, a lot of folks are going to be hurting. But then on the other side of the coin, the taxing entities, the school districts and the counties and the cities, et cetera, sales tax is in the tank. That is their biggest source of revenue, even more than property tax. Yeah. So sales tax is really hurting. So, property tax is kind of one of the only ways that they've got really to do anything. I hope that they can come up for something that for folks that are experiencing hardships. I mean, it shouldn't take very much to prove that, you own a business that was shut down or had to distance and work from home. kind of cut folks some slack. I'm not saying that they don't need to, or that they're actually going to cut the taxes, but give folks some time, stretch that out, delay some stuff. I'm sure that this is going to come up to the governor, but at this point, as far as I know, there's nothing in place that provides for any of that. So we're going to kind of be stuck between a rock and a hard place. This is we're charting new territory all the time, trying to figure out how everything is going to be handled this year.
And the city's not going to lower their budget for this.
No. I mean, they've still got to take care of all the roads. Having a tough enough time with that. Go out and drive 114th from the interstate across, and come back and tell me what you think about that, because it's
well,
it's
and not only that,
mess.
we can't close schools. I mean, we've got to keep schools open.
I don't know. They're closed right now.
Yeah,
we can't close them indefinitely.
Speaking of schools and all these kids from home, I had a guy told me yesterday that he heard that squirrels have 15 babies at a time, and he said, now I know why so many adult squirrels run out in front of cars. They can kind of drive you nuts. I know a lot of parents are going crazy with the kids at home. They're used to having a little bit of slack time and having them in school. So it's thrown everything kind of crazy. What we're dealing with Lubbock Central Appraisal District, of course, they close to the public. They're trying to do everything they can to protect all the people down there, and I don't blame them. So as far as we know, we don't know how far this is going to go, but at this point, all the dealings with them have to be online or telephone. So we are really fortunate that we're set up to do a lot of that anyway. We've been conversing with them for years, same way. So.
Well, Gary, let me tell you one thing about it. I think what we're seeing is a huge amount of increased audience listenership, and it's because that people are stuck home. And
absolutely. You better believe it.
The same thing. The TV stations are telling me that their viewership levels are just through the roof because people are home.
Yeah.
And not only
people want to know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And so, again, particularly, you've got a lot of people who are just wringing their hands, not knowing how they're going to pay the rent. And I'm sure that they would love to save every single dollar that's possible. So there's probably a lot of those people that are going to give you a call.
All right, and
excellent.
We'll tell you how to do that right after the break. We got to take a quick break. We're going to come back with the cash code right now. We'll be right back. All right, Gary, we were talking a little bit about now. A lot of people are having some problems, but one thing they can do if they can't potentially postpone their property taxes, one thing they could possibly do is lower their property taxes if their if their appraisal's too high. And,
absolutely.
And you're the one that really you've been through this. You used to work for the appraisal board.
Right, appraisal district.
Appraisal
I lost my
district
mind back in 2003 and decided I want to do that. Actually, it's a great place to learn property valuation. You'll be exposed. I mean, anybody that's thinking about a job in something like that, you'll be exposed to more property valuation, more appraisal work than you will in most other places. Lubbock's an easy place to get around in. So, I'm fortunate that I worked there. I learned a whole lot about the stuff. But the one thing that I did see while I was there, because we had so many folks that came in, and if they would have just brought the right information, there might have been some stuff that we could do, but folks just didn't know. The other segment of property owners that we see, and I still see a lot of, is the amount of them that don't even know that there's anything they can do about that number whenever they get their tax notice. Most folks think it's just pretty much a done deal, throw it in the trash, and I'll worry about paying in October whenever it comes out. So, but no, there absolutely is something you can do. You can't fight your tax rate. You can challenge the value, which is what they use to base the tax amount that you're going to pay, which is exactly what we do. Every single year on the property that we represent, we get all of LCAD's information, the physical information that shows how big they are, what class they are, where they're located, et cetera. We also get their market information, which shows the sales that they intend to use to support that value if it goes to a full hearing. So we take a look at all of their stuff. We also get multiple listing data of our own. We analyze all of it, use a regression analysis program, find out what we feel like that the adjustments need to be and what's good comps. And Once we're finished with that, we sit down and take a look at it. It tells us whether we stand a chance at a reduction or if the property is already undervalued, which in that case we leave LCAT alone and don't even mess with it. But so many times it's overvalued, not only based on market data, but as many houses as they have to work, as many they have to measure and add to the system, et cetera, a year, there are going to be a few mistakes. And that's one of the things we do is take a look for those, try to make sure everything is factually correct so that their numbers are based on that stuff. And we find some mistakes. So that's another part of what we do. But the big idea, the main goal that we wanted to take care of for property owners is we want to take the headache, the worry, the anxiety that always comes whenever these tax notices come. Am I paying too much? And if you are, how would you know? And what can you do about it even if you are? So we've got the tools, we've got the technology, we've got the experience. I was at LCAD for 10 years. I've done 6 of these, 6 protests from an agent side. Got a rock star that I hired a couple of years ago, Brandy Natividad, incredible agent. You couldn't really sit down and list all the things that you were looking for somebody in my business and be able to come up with somebody that fit the bill better than she did for me. So I'm real fortunate to have her. Incredible worker, just gets in a tremendous amount of stuff done, and it's all right. That's one of the most amazing things about it. So, Brandy, there's your pat on the back.
So,
Laura, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say one thing that we may want to mention is that one of the big downsides to how they do property taxes is you're always a year behind. So these are 2019 numbers that you're being taxed off of, not whatever's happening today.
That's exactly right. And that was one of the biggest mistakes that I saw folks make when they brought their own data in down there, is they were looking at it as a fee appraiser would. If we're trying to appraise this property as of today, then we don't want to look at sales that are more than a couple months old, 3 years or so at the most. The tax value, property tax value, is based as of January 1st. You can't anticipate what things are going to sell after January 1st, so that you have to rely on the last year's worth of sales. And that's basically the way that the tax code is written. So they're looking at everything from January 1st to December 31st of 2019 to base the value as of January 1st. Of course, that was before any of this stuff started. So that's the kind of the rock and the hard place that they're stuck between, is that the law says that they have to do it as of January 1st, but then, is there any compassion out there, any understanding, any common sense in the government?
The answer is no.
Going to be able to do anything.
I'm going to answer that for you. The answer is no. But hey,
I know there's not a lot of common sense.
Gary, let me ask you this. There's probably a lot of people out there that want to protest. Now, I don't know why they wouldn't protest through you anyway, because you only get paid if you save them money. But there's a lot of people out there that may decide they want to protest. What's the date they have to have their paperwork in by if they want to protest?
30 days after the day the protest was mailed. For most folks, that's going to be the 15th of May. And most of the notices, I don't have any right in front of me right now, but they used to have a deadline on them for the day that they were mailed. But if that's not on there, then it's 30 days from the day it was mailed. Count on it being in the mail for a day or two before you got it. So it's kind of a narrow window. We used to have notices go out first part of April, and it went all the way through May 31st. But the legislature shortened the window from the backside back to the 15th. And then tax notices didn't go out this year until I think they dropped in the mail the 14th. So somewhere around May 14th, May 15th is going to be it. So do not miss that. And if you want us to take care of it, the sooner you get in touch with us, the better. Gives us a chance to make sure that we've got all the paperwork in. Now, this weekend, beginning probably last Friday, we've been hit with an absolute avalanche. It's a tsunami, whatever you want to call it. We get phone calls and emails like it's going out of style. We are working our way through those. We'll get back to you, I promise, as quick as we can. But, they just keep piling up, and we're working as hard as we can to get through it. It's amazing.
To try to help alleviate some of that, we want to remind everyone that if you're already working with Gary Adrian and you have worked with him in the past, then you're already in his system, and he's already looking that up.
That's a fact. That's a fact. We have a lot of folks, particularly second year and third year, that don't really understand how the system works. But the other thing we have a lot of folks getting in touch with us is our investors, folks that own multiple properties.
Yeah.
We're
Gary,
able to go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say we got 40 seconds. Do you want to give out the number and the email address?
Absolutely. Our phone number is 777-9973. Email address, you can either get in touch with me at gary@aceoftexas.com. We've got another one. It's info@aceoftexas.com. You can go to the website. There's a contact point on there at www.aceoftexas.com. But
all right.
Get in touch with us. We'll give our very best shot for you.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Gary saved me a lot of money. If you need help, make sure to call him. This is News Talk 95.1 FM, KFYO. We'll be right back.